Hey, good morning, YouTubers, Facebookers, party people alike. This is Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and Clay Motion here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and this is the Clay Way. If this video is helpful, please consider subscribing down below, clicking the notifications, sending me your nice comments, liking my videos, and sharing them if you want to. If you got a question for me, hit me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair, and I will try to answer. We've got a 2010 Dodge Journey with the 3.5. It will not start. We are going to try to figure out what's going on. First thing we did was put the jump box on it because our battery was a little bit dead, so we're going to charge that up. We sprayed a little bit of starting fluid in the air cleaner right here. It's off this hose right down here. Sprayed it right inside there as we were cranking so the engine would draw a vacuum and suck it up into the intake. Fired right up and ran. So you might lead you to believe that there's a fuel pump bad. More than likely that's what we're going to find. But we're going to do a couple other checks just to make sure we don't spend a lot of money on a fuel pump before we say for certain that that's what it is.
So when it started up, it smoked a lot of white smoke, and it would sputter about every 10-15 seconds, but not start up and run. And to keep things simple and cheap, the next thing we're going to do is check the fuses before we spend any money.
If we open up our fuse box and with the key turned on, we are going to check this fuse down here, which happens to be the fuse for the fuel pump. But we're also going to check every single fuse, visually inspecting the ones with little bars. These will break and be burnt. Very rare that these maxi fuses are blown. We'll also take our finger, push down on the top of them, make sure they're all in there securely. And now we're going to go ahead and grab the power probe and check all the fuses. And the reason we're going to check all the fuses is because sometimes circuits have multiple sometimes fuses have multiple circuits on them, and you never know when something else is controlled by it. It's just a good rule of thumb. You might find your cigarette lighter's blown and you didn't even know it, you know. So we're going to go ahead and do that. When we're checking fuses, we want either 2 reds or 2 greens, and we push our power probe in the tip and we should be able to hear a noise. And that's our power noise. The reason that you would have 2 greens is because that circuit's not energized. And when you have 2 greens, you want to make sure that that circuit's not supposed to be. So you're going to look at the cover and the correlation of the fuses and make sure that it is not, it's just for like a headlight or something like that, or your horn, something that's not actuated with the key turned on. But right down here, we're going to go ahead and check this fuse pump. And that is green. So now we're going to have Jeff crank the car over at the same time while we check the fuel pump, and make sure that it turns red while it is cranking. Okay, it does turn red, so we're good there. Hang on, I got to have him check the other side because it could be blown. Go ahead and turn it over.
If it was blown, you would have green on one side and red on the other.
We don't have enough battery power to actually start it, so okay, so we're sending signal out to our fuel pump. That's a good thing. Okay, so with our jump box hooked up, we're going to go ahead and walk to the back. Jeff is going to turn the key on, and I'm going to open up the gas tank door before we do our fuel pressure test.
Normally when you open the gas tank door and remove the gas cap, you can generally put your ear up there and hear the fuel pump running, but in this particular situation, I couldn't do that. So I ended up getting underneath and listening for it, and I could hear it.
Okay, we definitely hear the fuel pump running. So now we're going to go ahead and check the fuel pressure.
Okay, I didn't end up checking the fuel pressure because I went ahead and grabbed my scanner and started checking for codes because I did have a check engine light that was not flashing.
Okay, so now we're inside the vehicle and we're going to reach our hand right up underneath there, about right there. Now we're going to boot up the scanner and we're going to go ahead and scan the car. Still wondering if it's actually a security issue. So fuel pump control circuit open. That's interesting, but that could be because we pulled the fuse or something like that. Invalid key. Very interesting. Oh, we have 1 key here and 1 key here, and this was the key that I was using. Maybe this is the key that they have to use? Okay, so if you're using a Maxis like me, we're going to go ahead into, and I already went into the wrong one. We're going to go ahead and go into live data, and we're going to check and see if the key is correct. So last key fob, no fob depressed, valid key in ignition. It says yes, so we don't have to worry about the key not being correct. So now we went back into our codes, and we're going to erase these codes and see if we still have the same code for invalid key. So to do that, we need our key turned on, and then once the codes erase, we will have to turn our key off and then turn the ignition back on, and then we'll verify the codes once we do that. So we're going to go ahead and turn our key off, remove it, put our key back in, and then we'll go ahead and read the codes again and see what we got. No fault codes detected. So now we're going to see if the vehicle will start. So we erased them codes, and it started up and ran for about 3 seconds, and then it went back to only sputtering once every 10 or 15 seconds or so during the crank cycle. So we're going to go ahead and erase all the codes and see if that actually makes the vehicle start and see what we get left. Yay! We got it running. It was just a bad EGR valve. It would cause it to crank, and it would sputter every once in a while, about every 30 seconds. But P0406 was the problem. Came up on the scanner, and I said, what the heck, we might as well throw an EGR valve in it. Generally that won't cause them not to run, but apparently on Dodge it does. So it's done. Making my haze in the shop today. Sure does take not a lot. Hi Jeff, how are you?
Where are you? I can't see you.
So I have this. If when you can get your vehicle to run with some brake cleaner, it's smoking a lot of white smoke, it may be your EGR, and you don't have to go through all the mess that I went through. You guys will consider subscribing to my page, clicking the notification, sharing my videos, liking my videos, commenting at least nice ones anyways. Remember, if anybody else can do it, you can do it too. God bless. Have a great day.